So my association with Patri sir has always been in everything related to Pyramid Valley. So thanks to the lockdown, we were all able to spend a lot of time with him. We stayed in Pyramid Valley while he was also staying in Valley, and our family also stayed here. So it was almost meeting him every day, and he used to cook great food in an Annadana every day, serve the food to people, and then go sit next to them and ask them, how is it? Is it okay? Right? I think that's a great attribute of Patri sir, the way he connects to people. So we all know Patriji as a great spiritual master. And we all know his teachings of vegetarianism, meditation, spiritual science, and pyramid power. He has provided us a lot of principles, a lot of concepts. You saw a lot of videos. And thanks to PMC and the lockdown Zoom sessions, we have a lot of content right now. But what strikes me the most is that he has impacted millions of people through his very simple style of leadership and management. So to me, more than a spiritual teacher, I would say he's the world's greatest teacher. He's the world's greatest teacher of how to drive social transformation through change, through meditation, vegetarianism, pyramid power, and everything. So, though we have his 18 guiding principles, all of you would have known that, and 13 principles for pyramid masters, I believe he taught us much more. I was reflecting back on the way he built the movement, on the way he interacts with different people, and the way he set up the different groups within PSSM. So through his life and way of working, he has taught the world, I would say 14 more management mantras. Please bear with me. So number one, he taught us anything that needs to reach the masses, anything that needs to drive change needs to be very simple. And that is what is Anapanasati meditation. There is no multiple step instructions. Just sit, close your eyes, observe your breath. That is all. So simplified instructions is very important for change. And then instead of a global control heavy structure, he said, let's do a movement. It's absolutely a federated structure of organization. And then you know where it is right now. It's just grown explosive without any management effort, without any cost in managing the people. It's just grown. And this is a classic example of multi-level marketing. So, you know, in PSSM, we have groups dedicated to schools. We have groups dedicated to spreading meditation in different colleges, schools, in jails. And then we have groups for youth. We have groups for senior citizens. So everywhere, and all that, nothing is paid for. Nothing is official. But the changes happen. And his way of helping experiential learning through Sajjan Sangitya, sharing experiences. Right, so that's another one. And obviously reading books. Again, no other organization allows or enables this kind of swadhyaya that Patriji has said. Right, and he allows us to read and recommends any books from any good book from any author. Not just him or not just the organization. Very open. And he's always believed, you must have seen, no copyright, no registration. All his teachings and all the PSSM teachings are free. And that is what allowed it to reach to multiple places. He believed in universal wisdom, collaborating with all organizations. He didn't say my way is the best, right? And then he collaborated with all organizations. He knew that truth was all the same. How people deliver it, how people approach it is different. So he collaborated with all organizations with no fear that people will switch over to the other organization, right? And it was done in welfare of all irrespective of the organizations. And obviously, he uniquely researched and brought forth the power of pyramids. Again, very simple. In one of the conversations, he said his vision was to see a pyramid in every locality, in every street. Right? And then I kind of was, when I was discussing with him, I said, today we have temples in every street, in every other places. What do? When we walk past a temple, we say like this, that's a habit ingrained to us. His vision was anytime people see a pyramid, people should remember to go in and meditate. Right? And that is where we are. And there's a lot of work to do for us there. And then he was an absolutely courageous proponent of vegetarianism. Any leader, any management person should have that courage. We've seen, irrespective of who is on the stage, whatever be the matter, he used to kind of audaciously, courageously drive vegetarianism. And the other mark of a leader that we learned from him is how he inspired a lot of people to build mega pyramids, to conduct mega events, right, without any paisa from a central organization or for himself, right? So he just told people, and then people did it. And people did not do it out of fear, not out of rules, not out of some rigid structure. They did it out of gratitude, right? They did it out of love. Patriji said, we'll have to do it, right? There was no fear there, but people wanted to do, and people wanted to spread the message of meditation everywhere. And that's another principle, right? So he gained loyalty not through fear. As Shayant was saying, there's no disciples. Everyone is masters. He empowered everyone. And that is how he gained loyalty. And it was not through any fee mechanism, not through fear of if you don't do this, if you don't do that, right? So it was through love and compassion. And he spread change, spread meditation without any marketing gimmickry, right? And as one of the principals said, no, no special clothing, no special signs, no special symbols. So no marketing gimmickry, just the message, just the undiluted message. He purely based it on science. Again, not faith. Science, scriptures, and actual evidences of transformation through all our experience sharing. And to me, he lived by example, empathy, and equanimity. So every time you see him, have you ever seen Patriji when he was talking, when he was eating, does he talk? I have not seen him. So every time he has his food, it's absolute focus, absolute concentration, right? So no talking. So there's a lot of things that we can learn by just seeing him or contemplating what he did. And the other point is a teacher should be accessible and connected. So he always moved among the crowds. He always went around, right? And that is what caused the change. He was not on a high pedestal 50 meters from the audience. He was always moving around. So that enabled the big connect that he had. And lastly, a leader needs to sense change beforehand. And that is what he did. Just before the corona and lockdown, PMC was launched. There was this vision. And during the lockdown, how PMC and the Zoom sessions really made a huge difference, almost equal to all the other years of effort, right? So these lessons are necessary for any student, any professional, any executive, any management person. Patriji always taught us reading books, Swadhyaya. To me, reading him, now Patriji is a book. You can read about Patriji. You read the way he lived, the way he worked, the way he set up the organization. And it itself can teach us a lot of lessons beyond even spiritual teachings. The way he behaved, the way he worked, the way he lived. And in gratitude to Patriji, I would endeavor to publish a book on the way Patriji lived, not just his teachings, right? And the way, the principles that he taught, simplicity, equanimity, enlightenment, and hopefully drive that adoption of that particular book and the lessons in all management institutes, because it's a wonderful, to me, Patriji is a world's best management and leadership teacher beyond spirituality. If you just read through, just study his life, that's what you'll feel. And I'm sure I also invite all management students and faculty to see if, in fact, not to see, to just incorporate Patriji's life as a case study in their management lessons as well. So overall, he taught us how to teach experientially with empathy, and he himself was an embodiment of equanimity. So I think there's a lot of work for us to do, not just from the spiritual teachings. In fact, we should probably just groom more leaders and management experts. What Patriji has done is unimaginable. I mean, you have a lot of management gurus with a lot of books, but Patriji has shown what management is, what leadership is for driving such a huge social change, huge millions of people, change across millions of people, transformation across millions of people through just example. He just showed us, he did it and showed us, he made us do it. And I'm thankful for being part of his experience. I'm thankful for being associated with them, and thanks to all of them for giving me this opportunity to be working here, serving here in Pyramid Valley. Thanks to all the trustees, and of course Patri sir. And again, lots of pranams and namaskars to Patri sir. Thank you.